I'm John Schrott, and this is On the Spot with IKM. Today we're going to be talking about a little different subject matter with one of our project managers, Dan Polak. Dan knows the ins and outs of different ways to get a building constructed. And the topic we're going to talk about today is FastTrack construction. So just what does the term FastTrack construction mean?
Well, I would say it means making decisions early, and you have to make those decisions early because you want to start construction early or fast track it. So by making those decisions, you can start with your foundations and site work while the rest of the design is still going on.
So does the architect make all those decisions, or does it work better when there's a different type of arrangement?
A three-party arrangement.
Okay.
Really. You want to have your contractor or construction manager, your owner, and the architect, and really the whole design team.
So how does that influence the way we do our work as architects?
I think it drives, again, it comes down to decision making, because you have to kind of live with or agree on those decisions early. And it drives our process because we maybe do a little less iteration as we go, but you've really got to be confident up front.
So what happens when you discover that you made a wrong decision later on in the process?
Well, luckily I've never made any too bad of decisions in this, but I'd say everything's always solvable. But again, those three parties need to come together and agree the best path forward. So usually something can be redesigned within the space, and that's the best way to go forward.
From the owner's perspective, if they choose to pursue this approach, how do they know what their total investment is going to be? Because we're building before things are really finalized, right?
So I think you can look at that different ways. You could come in with a number, and the team has to go to that number, kind of like a target value design, where everything is working around that. Or they can come in kind of with their scope and say, we've got to hit that, and then we'll do some estimating maybe at an earlier stage, but we've all got to make commitments. And those could be with things as little as a sketch on a piece of paper that shows where all your wall protection is, and that almost becomes part of that living document.
So you uttered a phrase that might not be familiar to a lot of people, target value design. Maybe you can explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, I could go into that a little bit, and that's, it is again what it sounds like fast track construction. It's you're targeting that number, so you're working everything towards it instead of kind of getting to that end where you have to value manage something. So you can do that in different buckets. So you can break apart each part of the project, look at it in isolation, and then look at the big number and then where you want to break those things back out of.
So in buckets, you put the structure, you put
Sure.
the exterior envelope, you put the interior finishes. And
yeah, and if you get to the point and you go, oh, we've got a little extra on our exterior, you can take those savings, or you could say, oh, interiors is a little high, let's move that bucket over there.
Do you think this is where the industry is moving, that there will be more fast track design? Because it gets the building operational faster.
I think there's a potential for that, and it just really depends on the project and the client and how they want their project delivered. I think there will be more of it. I don't think it'll be the only way.
That's interesting because it's about collaboration in the fast track.
Absolutely.
And the challenge is often to get all three parties to agree that we're going to collaborate.
It comes back to that decision making,
right.
And you've got to be comfortable with your team and comfortable with your decisions and have the right people there to make them.
Well, Dan, thanks for being on the spot. Until next time.